You know, I love podcasting. I have since 2006, back when you had to use like a Dixie cup with string to make the thing work. And that's why I'm so excited that we recently moved Mysterious Goings On to Anchor FM to record our podcast. I gotta tell you, I don't regret it a bit. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Not going to lie to you, when I first heard about Anchor, I was a little dubious because I've been doing it the hard way for so long. But I got to tell you, it's very easy. Use a Stripe account. Get sponsors. You're not paying monthly hosting fees. The sound quality is great. The distribution is phenomenal. Friends, download the free Anchor app today if you want to start your own podcast, or go to anchor.fm to get started. Remember, you heard it here first on Mysterious Goings On.
Well, I think content is king. Mm-hmm. You can have people that come in and they can just talk. Hey, look, we did an hour. We're done. Good. And people, I think the audiences these days can sniff out most of the inauthenticity of conversation. You can tell when people are stretching, and I think they would much rather be get to enjoy something that, one, obviously the host is into, and then two, that's interesting to them.
If there's one word that sums up 2019 on the Mysterious Goings On podcast, it's creativity. Not necessarily from me, but there was a lot of creativity being discussed, and we talked about it from all walks of life.
Well, I guess my thinking is that when people see my pictures, I want them to be inspired. I want them to feel a sense of wholeness and optimism. You know, we live in a pretty stark world, and I deliberately avoid that and try and have my pictures transport people away from that.
I think if you're creative innately, having more than one channel or place to demonstrate your creativity is important, and one can feed the other. What I didn't realize 20 years ago when I was at Emerson College, and I realized, I can draw upon my cooking background to inform the writing I wanted to do, and that I could be a food writer and write from a different perspective than the average person even back then. And this is the relatively early days of food writing, modern food writing, I should say, before the term food porn was created, and then even before foodies existed. I realized professionally I could marry both interests, and that my love of food and how it stimulates the senses could carry over to the writing that I did then. Those two things, food and writing, have kind of been pathways that have crisscrossed throughout my career.
Well, I will tell you that all the Me Too's that we hear about, the Me Too stories, if you want Me Too stories, I could just totally bore you with many, 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 many Me Too stories. Wow. Here locally and or in Nashville, where I was in country music for the 25 years I was at KFKF. So all of the CMAs, occasionally out in Los Angeles at the Academy of Country Music Awards, and other programs throughout the year in Nashville. And record label reps think they own you, and they certainly buy you all the liquor you want. And that is not necessarily a complimentary combination.
It's the greatest stress reliever. It's just a tonic. It is a cliche, but it's true. I can have the worst, most stressful day, on the public policy side. I go downstairs, I plug in my guitar and start playing, and honest to God, the world just melts away. I mean, it's just, you are so in the moment. It's such a great think, because I do some meditation, some of that too, and that's the thing that we're always trying to do, right? We're not trying to live in the past, and we're not trying to be stressed about the future. You're trying to be in the moment, and playing music is one of the greatest ways to be in the moment. It's just a gift. It really is. It's such a great thing to be able to do. I'm really lucky.
Here's a parallel. Well, the economy's so good, so we can forgive all the other bullshit that the president's doing, right? It's like, no.
Right.
Either we're a moral and just society, or we're not.
Honestly, what's drawn my heart most recently has been my own children. So my kids are 22, 20, and 18.
That freaks me out. You're too young for those kids.
And I've watched them grow up in a world that is vastly different than the world that I grew up in.
Yeah.
And it's made me very much aware of the value of storytellers and artists to culture, that artists are really the change agents of culture. They are usually the first people that can articulate something new and help the rest of the general public see things in a different way. And
right.
That's a big thing with what's driving me to continue to create and write now, is that my voice, however small or large it may be, that I could actually have an impact in making this world a little bit better for my kids.
I think if we don't continue to push, we do our audiences a disservice by only giving them just a small portion and expecting that that's the only thing they can like. And I think there's so much theater out there, and there's so many good plays and musicals that maybe do push that edge. And I want to bring them here because I know there's an audience for them.
A burger and fries wrapped in paper is going to be one price. Call it that's a $7 meal. If you take it out of the paper, put it in a plastic basket, it's a $9 or $10 meal. You take it out of the plastic basket and you put it on a wood serving board with a stainless, the fries in a stainless steel. It's now a $13 or $14 meal, and then you put it on, a high-end porcelain or china plate, and it could be a $20 meal, just by how it could be virtually the same food cost, but by changing the presentation, you really define what you are as a restaurant, from a simple fast food to a high-end full service type.
We're going to do it again in 2020. Great new guests to bring on and talk about how creativity works in their daily life. Don't worry, fans of my monologues where I catalog my latest aches and pains and musings. There'll be plenty of those as well. But I think you're going to find that in 2020 we'll expand on what we started in 2019, and we'll continue a legacy of discussing creativity, the arts, maybe a little bit of current events. It's going to be an election year and some other stuff. So I hope you'll tune in this year, 2020, to Mysterious Goings On, coming at you every Thursday, just about every week. We'll, of course, let you know on mgopod.com. You should go there and sign up on mgopod.com. Put your email in and sign up for our e-list, and that way you'll know as soon as something is posted. And, of course, if you subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your pod, Apple Podcasts being a good one, you'll also be notified when we have new content. I've got to get busy getting some new interviews done, and we'll be coming at you very soon in mid to late January 2020. MGO, Mysterious Goings On, back in your ears for the new year. Until then, keep reading.
Get a credit card that gives you what you need now. A low interest rate on everyday purchases and a place to transfer high interest rate balances. The PenFed Gold Contactless Card is our lowest rate credit card. You can even earn a $100 statement credit when you spend $1,500 in the first 90 days. Join PenFed, and together we can help you keep more of what's yours. Visit penfed.org/goldcard. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.
Get a credit card that gives you what you need now.
a low interest rate on everyday purchases, and a place to transfer high interest rate balances. The PenFed Gold Contactless Card is our lowest interest rate credit card. You can even earn a $100 statement credit when you spend $1,500 in the first 90 days. Join PenFed and together we can help you keep more of what's yours. Visit penfed.org/goldcard. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed, insured by NCUA.